Hi, my name is Willem van Esch. Today I have inspiration to share things without editing it, without preparing it, just from my heart. For me, to do some self-expression is something that I learned now, and I just learned it by doing it and having the courage to share myself. To see that you may be inspired by that, you may be helped with that, that you just like it, simply. To look over the horizon, that's what I always want to do. I always want to be inspired and I want to make that my lifestyle the whole day, so I do something new like this, like expressing myself, whether it's politically correct or not, or marketing technically correct or not. I really don't matter, it doesn't matter really. It just matters that I'm talking from one person to another, be it virtually. And for me, I want to open my mind every day for something new. And that's not so easy, as we all know, because we have our things that we got to do every day. But I do that every day. I go out of my routines and do something new like this, expressing myself without preparing it in the raw, so to speak. I've been working on myself, for years and years and years to break that, and because of that, my life is interesting. I always, I traveled, I travel, I discover other cultures, I learn other languages. I learned to play musical instruments. I really like to do what I do. What I'd like to do, and that's not childish. That's something that comes from the higher self that I'm open to every day. And I encourage all of you to open up to your higher self. It doesn't matter to put any labels, any dogma on what is the higher self, because I could go into that too. But I just ask you to simply experience your higher self without any dogma. When you go exercising, when you meditate, when you eat, when you work, when you whatever you do, make sure that you get in touch with that. And then be inspired and stop doing what you don't like. We all have chores to do, but I invite you to be your higher self, to live from there, and then do what you really love to do. It could be challenging sometimes in society to do that, but I want to be of service. I learned with customers also in business that I've a lot of experience with that. To really overwhelm them with the best service. And that really makes me happy. It makes me happy to be extraordinary to my clients, my customers in my 35-year career. And that way, when I work from my heart, and the customers are impressed with what they get more than they expected, that's really my thing. I see that in when you get service in restaurants, you see when the difference quickly when people work from their heart or not, how you're being served in a restaurant. It's a simple service because we usually all have visited the restaurants. The thing is that I'd like to do that. I don't. That's what comes from my own heart. So that's what gives me pleasure now to do that kind of thing. To really over deliver, is that word? Over delivery to myself too. That I pamper myself. But I'd like to pamper everybody else too. if that gives me the, if I'm allowed to, if people allow me to do that. And over delivery is something comes from my higher self, and that's where I'd like to stay 24/7. The ordinary self of mine, that can go into competition, can go into copying, can go into resentment, can go into being taking things for granted, and I don't want to be there. I'd like to be seeing it from a higher perspective. I'd like to see, I choose that. I choose to be there, and I'd like to express myself with that. Because I have done things, I have over-delivered in my life, and where I was doing things in business that I didn't like anymore. I didn't like to do that anymore, and I felt I would feel empty. I would close a big contract and feel empty afterwards. I was in the oil and shipping business in the past, and I'd over-deliver, and then we all go home. And we still go home, but again, I'd like to work from my higher self, from my soul, really to deliver. And that's why I'd like to work from with people to people, to deliver that without any intervenience of how do you say, the gross material world that I've been in. You know, the shipping business and all that, where you work with impressive ships, and that's all fine too. That's that ships are important on this planet. But I chose not to do that anymore. Still being involved with, a little bit with that, but then I'm really working with people, from people to people, to inspire and be inspired by the people where they are and how they grow, how they move forward. Because when I work with other people that way, then I move forward too, because it takes the journey is always together with other people, and when we get conscious about the journey together, then the journey gets can get only more can be more inspiring. So literally shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, all these things, that's what inspires me. The deepest drive for people to feel alive in a constructive way. That's where I'd like to be. That's in that level I'd like to work all the time, and that's what I'm doing. And I can only share my heart now with all of you. I learned at the university where I studied spiritual psychology. I learned to have an unconditional positive regard towards life. That serves me and that serves others. No matter what the trials and tribulations that I've been through in my life, I use them as a stepping stone to something greater, to be myself more, to be authentic, and to be there for other people whenever they ask me to. And that is my life now. That is where I reside, and I love it. It's about the inspiration. How can we move forward together? How do we do that? There are a lot of tools available for that can be very simple. For me to stay in the zone, I meditate and I bike through nature. Because I want to stay in the zone, and I want to invite all of you to be in the zone, to stay in the zone of your higher self, where you are truly inspired and you can be truly loving towards your fellow man and yourself, and make that your life. That's my life, and I'm just expressing myself. I don't want to preach anything. I just wanted to share something of mine, of my part. And this beautiful sunshine I'm in here in Holland in the autumn, where the beautiful days of October. So I'm very grateful for this sunshine now, in the moment there. And soon I'll go and change my clothes and go biking to get recharged. and stay recharged, where I can be of service again. Because in my work, I work with different time zones. I work here in Europe, I work in the United States, and in South America with the time zones. Sometimes I'm so charged in the evening that it's not so easy to go to sleep, because I'm charged, and then I just I gotta get it out of my mind that I always need 9 hours of sleep or 8. Sometimes I can do with less. Just dabbling on here, but I'm sharing with my heart, and I hope you enjoy this, and that I inspire you a little bit. At least it inspired me to stay here in the sunshine. Thank you.